let's meet our starting lineups. First for the visiting Benedictine University Eagles. A senior attacker from Crown Point, Indiana, number 1, Ben Zimmerman. Senior attack from Long Lake, Minnesota, number 3, Will Robinson. A junior goalkeeper from Commerce Township, Michigan, number 18, Colin Doyle. First-year midfielder from Crown Point, Indiana, number 19, Jonathan Zimmerman. Sophomore midfielder from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, number 23, Musa Diallo. Sophomore attack from Billings, Montana, number 25, Luis Hernandez. Junior defender from LaGrange, Illinois, number 28, Joseph Metzger-Villon. Junior defender from Rancho Murrieta, California, number 36, Cooper Lillich. Sophomore defender from Huntley, Illinois, number 40, Matthew Brunken. And a junior defender from Sacramento, California, number 58, Nathan Theodorovic. The Eagles are coached by head coach Blake Keenan, assistant coaches Eric Orndorff, Sammy Senko, and Cole Schultz. And now the starting lineups for your Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. Senior defender from Bay Village, Ohio, number 4, Henry Rankin. Junior attack from Haydenville, Massachusetts, number 5, Yano Porter. A senior midfielder from Seattle, Washington, number 7, Reed Tangeman. In goal for the Scarlet Hawks, a junior from Lakewood, California, number 8, Kyle Johnson. Junior attack from Howell, New Jersey, number 9, Jonathan Vitale. Junior midfielder from Lindenhurst, Illinois, number 11, Ty Dwyer. Junior attack from Woodland Hills, California, number 12, Jackson Brass. A junior defender from Colorado Springs, Colorado, number 14, Caleb Ostian. A sophomore midfielder from Los Angeles, California, number 20, Diego Sosa. And a senior defender from St. Louis, Missouri, number 29, Seamus Keneally. The Hawks are coached by head coach Dan Sharbaugh, assistant coaches Frank Weschler, Oliver Kennedy, and Sean Arston.
Good afternoon and welcome to Stewart Field in Chicago. A quick start here between the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks and the Benedictine Eagles. I'm Chris Rouse on the call. Eric Willowite will be joining me shortly. We had an opening draw control, and the whistle will favor the Benedictine Eagles. Good afternoon. Happy Saturday from the near south side of Chicago. Stewart Field, the location where the Scarlet Hawks and the Eagles are underway in NCAA Division III men's lacrosse action. Chris Rouse, Eric Willowite, and Eric, both of these teams coming in looking to end 4-match losing streaks, so something will give this afternoon.
Yeah, no, it has to, because otherwise they'll go to sudden death overtime, so you're absolutely right, Chris.
Meanwhile, Benedictine, they have the possession following the whistle off the opening draw control. There's a shot that's going to go wide left for the Eagles. Here's a quick look at the starting lineup as Illinois Tech will take possession. So actually we'll flip that over to the Scarlet Hawks wearing the white uniforms and headed towards the north side of Stewart Field, led by Coach Dan Sharbaugh in his 5th season at the helm of this Illinois Tech program. They come in, as we mentioned, having lost 4 consecutive matches, their most recent coming in at the hands of Hope. And then last time they were here, had a chance to win against the Calvin Knights.
That was a rough one.
But that goal with just 3 seconds remaining was the difference as Calvin got a 10-9 win. Illinois Tech looking to get back in the win column here.
Especially since they had a 6-2 lead in that game, Chris. So that one kind of went sideways on them a little bit.
That was a matchup where Illinois Tech seemed like goals were at a premium in that matchup against Calvin. Illinois Tech had Tangeman. He was able to find the net. Here's a shot that's from Vitale, but a quick save for Benedictine.
And Colin Doyle, 6'5", standing in the net there, so he doesn't allow you a lot of space.
Doyle with the save to start things off for Benedictine. They're in possession of the ball with number 1, Ben Zimmerman, in the starting lineup. Number 3, Will Robinson. We mentioned Doyle. He's the goalkeeper, number 18. Jonathan Zimmerman, number 19, is out there as well. Number 23 is Musa Dallo. They also have number 25, Luis Hernandez. Number 28 is Joseph Metzger-Villon. They also have number 36, Cooper Lillich. Number 40, Matthew Brunken. And number 58, Nathan Theodorovic.
Yes, that's easy for you to say and
right.
me.
Now here comes Benedictine as they reset it. Tyler Sarna out there. Here's a pass up top to Dylan Langley. Langley's shot ricocheted away by the keeper for Illinois Tech. That's Johnson. And possession of Benedictine. They had the man on the back line. That was Hernandez.
Eagles looking for their first win of the year.
Here's a shot for Robinson. That's deflected away. And Johnson comes up with the ball for the Scarlet Hawks. Benedictine this season, record of 1-7.
There was one, okay.
Their one win coming back on March 9th, 1911, against Augustana College. Scarlet Hawks in behind the cage, a chance to go for goal! Reed Tangeman finding the back of the net.
A nice assist there from Jonathan Vitale, and the Hawks get the early lead.
Reed Tangeman had done a great job earlier in the season, scoring the goals for Illinois Tech back when they took on Calvin earlier in the season. And now here's Tangeman. He was sort of the spark in that matchup against Calvin. He opens the scoring here against Benedictine.
Assist number 9, Jonathan Vitale at 11:54.
Vitale credited the assist. What a play right there for the Scarlet Hawks. Tangeman finding the back of the net. Just a good read there by Tangeman as he stepped right into the shot. Found the back of the net. And the senior from Seattle, Washington, Reed Tangeman, makes the right read to find the back of the net.
No pun intended there,
No,
Chris. Right?
Not at all.
I'd allow it even if he did, though. So
Robert Schroeder out there. You pass it over to Langley for Benedictine. Tyler Sarna. Pretty good motion for Benedictine in behind the cage on that previous possession, but unsuccessful in their attempt to score on Johnson. This time the ball knocked loose in front of Johnson. He comes away with it, and out of traffic, here come the Scarlet Hawks. That is Brault, Jaeger Brault. He passed it over to Jackson Brass. Brass actually didn't play in that match against Calvin, but he's back out there for the Scarlet Hawks, one of their top goal scorers.
yeah, it's tough when you don't have your top goal scorer out there, but they hung well with Calvin. They almost pulled that one off.
But it also showed that some of these other guys on this Illinois Tech team, they're poised to play in those big matchups.
Right.
Saw some huge goals. You mentioned Tangeman early on.
That game, Owen Heward had the hat trick.
Yep.
So he got a chance to, fill the void.
And you see Tangeman playing with so much more confidence. He missed that one wide right, but you see him no hesitation. Once he gets the ball on the cross, goes right to the net. Porter was on the back line, so Illinois Tech will maintain possession with 35 on the shot clock. Porter looking for Tangeman again. Tangeman goes right into his left. Ball knocked away and recovered by Ty Dwyer, junior out of Lindenhurst, Illinois. That's up north. Here's Dwyer, who shoots it wide left. Speaking of north, that one wide off the north fencing here at Stewart Field.
Only 10 seconds on the shot clock here.
Here's a shot for Illinois Tech. What a save. What a play by the keeper. That's Colin Doyle. You mentioned he was 6'5", Eric. He used every bit of that 6'5" for him to make that save.
Yeah.
Didn't have to really move too much. Just kind of put the stick straight up. Schroeder.
Yeah. And not a lot of time you're going to be able to get the goalkeeper on the move, Chris, right? It's a lot of times it's just a straight-on shot. You have to find that open corner. But he doesn't leave a lot of space, but
Schroeder
can be beaten.
Schroeder back out to Sarna. Sarna, the junior out of Schaumburg, Illinois. There's Benedictine out in Lisle, not too far from Schaumburg. Here's Langley. Back over to Zimmerman. Zimmerman, nice curl. I thought he was going to go to the net. He does finally eye the net, but passed off to Sarna. Sarna. Pretty good room and a shot. What a shot from Sarna as he finds the back of the net to get Benedictine on the board.
Yeah, he was very patient on that possession and able to put it past Johnson, even it up. Pair of 7 scoring the goals here.
And Sarna finding the back of the net for the 16th time this season, credited as unassisted at 9:08. And the 16th goal of the season for Sarna ties our Saturday affair at 1 apiece. Muhammad Jarrad was in there to take the draw control. That is a common occurrence for Illinois Tech. Meanwhile, here's Zimmerman on the other end for Benedictine. Pass from Diallo.
That's a good point, Chris. I think in that Calvin game towards the end, they switched it up just a little bit, but you're right. For the most part, it is going to be Muhammad Jarrad in the circle.
Benedictine making some noise on their sideline as we get Schroeder running around the backside of the cage with possession of the ball. James Klein, the first-year player out of San Diego, California. He's the one on the ball for Illinois Tech, and he actually was able to dispossess Benedictine. Loose ball. Still no ground ball pickup yet, and as I say that, here comes Benedictine with Aiden Elliott. Aiden Elliott came away with it for a moment. Then he passed it off to Langley. Benedictine arguing that pass was tipped. The official saying no, so it belonged to Illinois Tech. It's the first of two to be played today here at Stewart Field. We've got a lacrosse doubleheader. This is men's action against Benedictine. And then coming up at approximately 3:30 p.m. You don't know, maybe this will go to overtime.
Bite your tongue.
Right, bite your tongue on that one. But in the event that it doesn't, approximately 3:30 p.m., it'll be women's lacrosse action as the Scarlet Hawks take on the Wisconsin Stevens Point Pointers, their inaugural season of women's lacrosse action for the Pointers. Still looking for their first win as they'll take on the Scarlet Hawks here at 3:30. But currently, Illinois Tech, with the miscommunication on the pass, Brass tries to run it down. Still no possession for Illinois Tech, and now Brass comes up with it after a bit of a physical exchange. Putting it mildly. Here's Jackson. Jackson Brass on the move. Porter in behind the cage, over to Dwyer. Nice underhand pass. Porter sets it up perfectly for a shot, but the save by Doyle as Doyle turns back Heward.
That was a nice pass to set up Heward, but a better save there by Doyle.
We got a flag out there on the field. It's now Benedictine in possession. Here's a curl for Zimmerman to the net. The shot is bouncing home and a goal for Ben Zimmerman, the senior from Crown Point, Indiana. There was a flag down on that play. Benedictine took advantage, and Zimmerman able to curl to the net for the goal. So they'll credit Zimmerman with the goal. That goal for Zimmerman is his 9th of the season. It's unassisted, and number 1 gives Benedictine a 2-1 advantage.
Illinois Tech penalty, number 20.
And there was a slashing penalty there against Illinois Tech. That went against Diego Sosa. And that was the cause of the flag where Benedictine was able to take advantage and push up the field. Zimmerman getting the goal.
And so it's nice they get a goal and then a man-up opportunity for a minute to tack on, having a 2-1 lead.
Let's see how the Scarlet Hawks respond with the man disadvantage here as they try to defend the ball. Schroeder passed it over to Langley. And now here is the most recent goal scorer, Zimmerman. His 9th of the season on that last goal. There's a quick pass and a shot for Hernandez. It was deflected away by Johnson for Illinois Tech. Ball loose, recovered by Benedictine. Great perimeter ball movement here for the Eagles. Usually you hear that in basketball, but here you're seeing that here for Benedictine. Quick passing. Not really allowing Illinois Tech to eye the ball. You see, that was a save in self-defense as now the Scarlet Hawks come away with possession.
Yeah, I'm sure that doesn't feel nice.
It's a pretty good day, 61 degrees, but no, I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
No.
As that hit Micah Mnookin right off the leg. Mnookin he was another one of those players who rose to the occasion against Calvin. Was all over my broadcast that day. As now here is Jackson Brass.
And Sosa getting ready to check back in.
To Vitali. Vitali to Tangeman. Really no motion for the Scarlet Hawks, so you see Tangeman just holding. And now Tangeman Passes back. And here's Diego Sosa. Sosa was the guilty party on the slashing penalty. And now here's Yano Porter. Out to Sosa. Great defense there for Benedictine. Good body up there by Metzger-Villon. Tangeman to Brass. Brass with a nice move. Pass into traffic for Dwyer, but Dwyer couldn't handle it. Ball going to be scooped up by Tankle. He had it briefly to Tankle. Illinois Tech regains possession. Brass flings a shot, but it goes wide off the fencing. Scarlet Hawks with Porter on the back line maintain possession. And with 3 seconds, they'll just concede the violation and give it up to Benedictine. Shot clock violation, possession of Benedictine. They'll get a fresh 80. But they'll have to go the length of the field and attempt to clear it. Also have to attempt to clear out first. Here's Schroeder. Met by Brass. Pretty good run again from Robert Schroeder, junior out of Lakeland, Florida. Quick pass for Benedictine was to the front of the net. It goes wide. It also goes out of play. And now Illinois Tech will gain possession. And they get it already into their offensive attacking zone. Here's Tangeman. Tangeman going for goal. That went over the top of the net.
You mentioned it before. Seven and White is not shy when it comes to shooting the ball. He had that. He wanted to get rid of it. Sailed it just a little high.
Action resumes with 3:55 and counting to go in this first quarter. Again, goals at a premium for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks at Stewart Field. Here's Jackson Brass. In behind the cage. Pretty good opportunity for Stockerp. Stockerp had a goal in that match against Calvin last time the Scarlet Hawks were home. That pass, not the result he wanted, but Tangeman able to run it down. Brass for goal. Shot goes wide. Also a deflection off of contact between Brass and Theodorovic.
I think Doyle got a piece of that one.
In front of the net for Illinois Tech. Oh, they tried to go for the shovel shot there by Vitali. Almost one of those shovel pass type plays from Vitali. An underhand scoop off the cross.
I mean, he was in so tight. That's pretty much the only play he really had. And just wasn't able to get it on net. Just went wide.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was earmarked for a goal, but when all was said and done, it's still 2-1 Benedictine. Tangeman. Tangeman gets it back. Here comes Tangeman again. He's got open space. If he could just shoot it here. We got a whistle. He does score.
Oh, wow,
Reed Tangeman, and he's fired up for good reason. He found the back of the net. Has Reed Tangeman. Second goal of the afternoon for Tangeman. There was a penalty against Benedictine. It's waved off thanks to the goal by Tangeman. And just like that, Reed Tangeman has tied the game. He's got 13 goals on the season. He's 2 shy of Jackson Brass for the team lead. Unassisted for Tangeman, his 13th of the season, second of the day. Speaking of 13, here is Mnookin, Illinois Tech's 13 on the run. To Jackson Brass. He may feel Tangeman closing in on his goal lead. Actually, he passes it off. Alexander Stockerp. He'll pass it off. Will Stockerp over to Ty Dwyer. Benedictine going to get Tankle, number 4. You see him coming in defensively. And now Diego Sosa. Sosa now matched up with Joseph Metzger-Villon. Out of LaGrange, Illinois, Lyons Township is Metzger-Villon. Here's Stockerp. In behind the cage. Still working against Dardis this time. There's a shot for Brass. That's off the fencing here at Stewart Field. Final minute 45 of this first quarter. Stockert. Pressured defensively by Lilich. Porter, pretty good body check there from Brunken to force that one away from Porter. Brass pass into traffic. A shot saved down low by Doyle. The redrag is good for the Scarlet Hawks. Vitale. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Vitale missed on the first try.
Let's take a look at the replay if we can. See if we got that.
And you see he missed on the first try, and then it came right back to Vitale. And quick reflexes, fires it home. Illinois Tech takes a 3-2 lead. Heads up play for the junior out of Howell, New Jersey, Jonathan Vitale. And with 1:24 to go in the first. And with 1:24 to go here in this first quarter, Vitale fires up the Scarlet Hawks faithful in their sideline. Violation against Muhammad Gerard will award the draw control to Benedictine. That was a nice goal down there by Vitale, Eric.
Yeah, to be able to get your own rebound on that in tight and then fire it past Boyle, giving the Scarlet Hawks the lead.
Vitale has now appeared in all 8 games this season. And that
1 minute remaining in the quarter, 1 minute.
That was his 5th goal of the season. Ground ball forced in traffic. Good job by Illinois Tech defensively, as now they come up with it in front of their keeper, Johnson. Scarlet Hawks looking to make a run. Instead, they're going to go with the outlet pass. I thought maybe going to Mnookin would have been the better call there. And they draw the whistle here as Brass took some contact, but actually that will favor Benedictine. Here come the Eagles back the other way. Schroeder through traffic. 24 seconds in counting to go in this first quarter. Sarna. Quick pass up top to Schroeder. Schroeder in behind. Pressured defensively by Klein. Final 8 seconds. Pass into traffic. That's going to go wide. Turns it over to Illinois Tech, and that likely would be our final action of this first quarter. Actually, going to say there was contact, so Benedictine will get possession. 2 seconds, 1 second, just to fling it out of bounds on the other side of the field, and that will end the quarter with our score, the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks 3, the Benedictine Eagles 2. Second quarter action coming up on the other side of this break. This is the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. You're also watching on YouTube Live. Happy Saturday. We're glad that you're joining us here in Chicago, Illinois for NCAA Division III men's lacrosse action. Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks taking on the Benedictine Eagles. Here with Eric Willowhite. I'm Chris Rouse. Scarlet Hawks lead 3-2. Eric, as we get ready to begin this second quarter, what was your take on that first quarter? Back and forth, so to speak, but goals at a premium.
No, I thought it was a good first quarter for Benedictine on the road here. Only had the one win, but a good conference opener for both teams, and I thought they put up a good showing there, especially defensively. They caused a lot of turnovers. They just weren't able to come up with the ground ball in some of the cases, and the Hawks were able to eventually get the lead on that. But I thought they've been playing well. And the Hawks stayed patient and eventually was able to take the lead. So I thought it was a good first quarter for both teams.
The teams now switch sides, so Benedictine in the red. They'll be headed towards the north side of Stewart Field to the left of your screen at home. Scarlet Hawks in the home whites headed to the south side of Stewart Field, the opposite direction, the right of your screen. If you're watching us on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network or on YouTube Live, wherever you may be joining us, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. Good afternoon here in Chicago.
That too. I'll get you some quick stats here.
There's a shot. There's a save for Johnson, so there's one stat. He's got another one, another save for him.
So shots were 14-7 in favor of Illinois Tech in that first quarter. Ground balls 8-4 Illinois Tech. Face-off violations, the Hawks had 3. And sometimes that could come back to bite you there. You don't want to have that many, but they had 3 face-off violations. So Mohamed Jarad's going to want to clean that up a little bit. Face-offs, Benedictine 5 for 6. Illinois Tech only 1 for 6. Clears 4 for 4 for Benedictine, 6 for 6 for Illinois Tech. And Benedictine was 0 for 1 on their only man-up opportunity. Scarlet Hawks did not have man-up opportunity.
Scarlet Hawks able to dislodge the ball there, but it's recovered by Benedictine. There's Sarna. Sarna has one of the 2 goals. Ben Zimmerman, number 1, has the other. Meanwhile, for Illinois Tech, Reed Tangeman with 2, and Jonathan Vitale has the other goal, accounting for their 3-2 advantage.
There's 4 turnovers by Benedictine in that first quarter. 5 saves for Doyle, 3 for Johnson.
Eagles now being forced out of their offensive zone. This is Klein. Klein has quietly been an effective player defensively for Illinois Tech, and there was a hard press there as he leveled Sarna. A shot for Benedictine off the goal as Robinson hit the upright. Crossbar, post, we're really not sure.
I think he hit that elbow.
Yeah, hit like
right
that
there.
corner, yeah. A bit of a corner of the post.
Man, that thing.
You're right. It really wasn't clear until it literally hit.
Right.
Hit the post and popped off. It was Schroeder.
Boy, what a margin of error to miss, though,
Zimmerman goes for goal. He didn't miss. He finds the back of the net for the second time, and he's tied our game at 3. Second goal for the senior from Crown Point, Indiana, here on this Saturday afternoon in Chicago. Zimmerman has done a pretty good job this season for Benedictine. That is now his 10th of the season. He has now played in all 9 matches this season for the Eagles, gaining his 8th start today. And with that goal, that was his 10th. His 10th goal of the season for Zimmerman, and now we're tied at 3 with 12:34. Mohamed Jarad with another violation, as we just talked about, Eric.
Yeah, they can't continue to have that happen. That's definitely going to have to get cleaned up. And we'll see if 34 continues to go in the circle. Maybe he needs a little bit of a breather there, but he's got to get that cleaned up.
Schroeder, he has the ball for Benedictine. Huge swing point in the matchup. Tied at 3 with 12:15 and counting to go in this first half.
Yeah, you don't want to underestimate the importance of winning faceoffs, right, Chris? It's like you're being able to maintain possession, set up your offense, and whether or not you score, you have the ball.
There was a shot attempt from Robinson. It was deflected into the air and recovered by Schroeder for Benedictine. Dylan Langley in behind the net. Chance to try to dump in for Hernandez. Oh, that deflected away. Ball knocked loose. It goes over Johnson's head, and I think that went over the net, or did it go in?
I don't think they're calling goal, but they're giving ball possession to Benedictine. Yeah, you did it behind the back or over his head and just missed on that one. Creative shot. Every time players are in close quarters there like that. They have to be creative with their shots because there's not a whole lot of room. And definitely was on that attempt.
That's typically where we get the highlights. We saw the shovel shot attempt earlier.
Right.
That was unsuccessful, but we have seen some creative attempts for the net. There's a straight-on goal for Will Robinson. And Benedictine takes the lead 4-3. Senior from Long Lake, Minnesota, Will Robinson breaks the tie and gives Benedictine, the Eagles, with a huge pivot point in the match, take the advantage. Robinson leads Benedictine with goals on the season at 28, well, 29 now, as he, for the number 3, gives them the 4-3 advantage. And for the 29th time this season, he's tickled the twines in favor of the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't know if the Hawks underestimated the Eagles' attack here coming in with a 1-7 record, but Eagles definitely are fired up. It looks like the Hawks might get a face-off win here on a Benedictine violation.
And Mohamed Gerard is over here talking with the training staff. Alton Brown took that draw control for the Scarlet Hawks. Look, one of the things I love about this broadcast location, you are behind the benches, so you kind of get a sneak peek at what's going on. He was talking to the trainer the entire time from the last draw control until now. Scarlet Hawks in possession with Dwyer. Ty Dwyer picked up by Jonathan Zimmerman. Pass into traffic to Diego Sosa. Ball knocked loose.
See, that's what I mean. Benedictine's doing a good job of dispossessing the Hawks of the ball, but they're unable to come up with those ground balls as frequently as they would want to secure the turnover.
They get it here.
Yeah.
And now Benedictine, now they're looking to clear. Theodorovic on the attempt to clear for the Eagles. And Theodorovic just sort of flings it out of traffic successfully to Metzger-Viome. Nathan Theodorovic with a beautiful pass, and now here comes Schroeder. Schroeder taking all sorts of contact.
Oh, wow.
Still has possession. Took about 5 or 6 quality hits before finally being dispossessed. And now Benedictine trying to regain possession with Langley. Great move to avoid traffic by Tangeman. But now he may be his own worst enemy as he bobbles the ball down the field. Dream team combo for the Scarlet Hawks with Tangeman finding Brass. But instead, the Scarlet Hawks will reset.
Yeah, Owen Heward would come in along with Stockerp for this possession.
Stockerp usually going to dive right to the net. Here he has the ball. The double team will force Stockerp outside, but he's likely going to dive to the net again. You can see him just trying to find the best path to the front of Doyle, the keeper of Benedictine.
Wow, that's great job defensively there by the Eagles. Contest that ground ball, and eventually possession goes to Benedictine. That's not a very good offensive possession for the Hawks there.
A 1-7 Benedictine Eagles team taking on the 2-5 Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. With these two teams, Eric, this has been a hard-hitting first half.
It really has. The physicality has really stepped up here.
Brass and Tanko meet out near the midfield stripe. Now here comes Benedictine. Robinson in behind Hernandez. Hernandez trying to avoid Henry Rankin. Rankin, a senior out of Bay Village, Ohio. Langley, representing Elk River, Minnesota. He was picked up there by Micah Minukin. Instead, they go to Schroeder. In behind the cage again. Here's that perimeter passing we've mentioned from this Benedictine squad. Langley. Back up top to Schroeder. Dwyer with a good push. Schroeder's shot goes wide. And that's going to go back to Benedictine as they have a man on the back line in Hernandez. Zimmerman. Zimmerman with 20. Clock continues to tick here on this possession for the Eagles. Bit of a slip there from Sarna, and that sort of blew this possession up for the Eagles. And now a lot of physicality behind the net. Fresh 60 for Benedictine. So Illinois Tech had him against the clock.
Yeah.
And the violation resets. Hernandez in behind the net, and more perimeter passing for the Eagles. Schroeder, nice screen by Schroeder. Sort of a lacrosse pick and roll, but it didn't work out.
No. Hawks need a goal here to kind of stem the tide that the Eagles have been imposing their will on the Hawks right now.
Dwyer to Porter. Brass in the middle of nothing but red jerseys. But Mnookin comes away with the errant pass.
You get a timeout?
And a timeout called by the Scarlet Hawks. Coach Dan Sharbaugh wants to calm his team down. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more Illinois Tech men's lacrosse here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Benedictine leads 4-3 after this break. Second quarter action here at Stewart Field in Chicago. The Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks taking on the Benedictine Eagles here in second quarter action of NCAA Division III men's lacrosse. Chris Rouse here with Eric Willowite. Eric, Illinois Tech down one, but looking to try to even things up as they have possession when action resumes after this whistle.
Yeah, and throughout the season, well, at least for the home games that we've been able to cover, Chris, Illinois Tech's done well when Coach Sharbaugh calls that timeout when they're on offense to set things up. Many times they are able to get a tally out of it. Let's see if that trend continues here.
Looks like they've adapted from the Benedictine playbook. A lot of perimeter passing before we start to see more of the traditional slash and dive offense from Illinois Tech. Here's a shot that goes wide right behind the cage. But remember, that is a shot. Man to the back line keeps it with Illinois Tech as Porter is there.
Might have been deflected. They reset the shot clock on that one.
And gave him a full 60 here. So now here is Brass. And now the Scarlet Hawks working around the perimeter again. Not really been able to make any motion here is Heward as he's working against Metzger-Viome. There's a shot and a goal for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. They were being forced away from the net. Eventually, they said, let's just take it to the front door.
Vitali.
They drop it off to Vitali, and Vitali gets the goal. That was a great dump-off by Heward to hit Vitali for the goal, and they find the back of the net.
Assist number 17, Owen Heward at 7:05.
So Heward with the assist, Vitali with his second goal of the day.
And the Hawks keep up that trend of getting a tally coming out of a timeout. So an effective use of the timeout by Coach Sharbaugh, and they get the equalizer.
Now Benedictine, they take possession of the draw control. First time in a while we've had a draw control with no whistle. As now Illinois Tech able to scoop one up.
Yeah, Mohamed Gerard was in on that draw. No face-off violation. It's just that Benedictine won possession.
And now here's Brass. Scarlet Hawks trying to get a substitution as Dwyer comes on for Klein. Klein, of course, has made a name for himself defensively today. And now Illinois Tech with 6.5 minutes to go in this quarter. Taking their time working it down the field. Diego Sosa.
That might have been the overall message, too.
Yeah, just let's settle down. We've seen more patient offense from Illinois Tech. Seemed like they were playing with their hair on fire, so to speak, early on. There's a shot from Brass that saved.
That was a pretty pass. Just wasn't able to convert there.
Fresh 60 for the Scarlet Hawks, clearly because of the shot attempt. And now here comes Tangeman. Tangeman met out near midfield by Nathan Osborne. First time we called the name of 22 in red. Sophomore out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Tangeman. He and Osborne just lowering those shoulders into one another. Before Tangeman finally just says he'll set up behind the cage. Dwyer for the goal. That one looking for the top right of the net goes wide. It is a shot attempt. Illinois Tech has the player on the back line, so they maintain possession. 30 on the shot clock. Porter to Dwyer. Dwyer to goal! Ty Dwyer with a sidewinder finds the back of the net.
That was a pretty goal. Nice pass from Porter from behind. And Dwyer doesn't miss on that second attempt.
Coach Sharbaugh, he settled his team down to Dan Sharbaugh with that timeout. And Illinois Tech, 2 possessions post timeout, 2 goals. Dwyer, assisted by number 5, Yano Porter, gives Illinois Tech the 5-4 advantage. That was a beautiful shot by Dwyer, the junior, out of Lindenhurst, Illinois.
Yeah, he just wound up from that far side, whistled it past Doyle. That might be the trick. You might want to get things down low. When you got a tall goalkeeper like that, you want to work the lower portion of the net as best as you can.
Only the second goal of the season for Dwyer. And now Illinois Tech trying to gain the ground ball. No flag. Oh, there's one on the 2 flags. Yeah, one on the backside, one on the near side of the play.
Let's see what we're going to get here.
And the officials are going to have a conference here. They're going to clarify what we have. 2 of the officials are going to clarify what this penalty will be, who will the play favor.
So we'll see in a second here.
It looks like they're coming over. They're pointing at Tinkle. So my understanding.
11, Adam.
So Adam Craig gets a legal contact to the head. So Craig of Benedictine, number 11, Adam Craig, gets an unreleasable 1-minute penalty for contact to the head. And with 5:08 and counting in this second quarter, and with a 1-point advantage, Illinois Tech also has a man advantage. Tangeman over to Sosa, to Brass. Here's Tangeman again, around the perimeter for the Scarlet Hawks. Illinois Tech, they have a man curling in front of the net. That's Heward. They go for a shot. That's Porter who shot it right off of the keeper, Colin Doyle.
Yeah, that was a tough angle for Porter. Doyle did a good job of just giving him nothing really to shoot at.
And the goal came also because of Doyle's reaction to the save. So Doyle, while making the save, sort of jerked into the net, and the goal came off. So
that's the first time I've seen that in lacrosse or all the games I've done. You see that in hockey all the time.
You see the net come off the moorings in hockey all the time, but you don't see that often.
Maybe Doyle's a big hockey fan. Goalie.
He's also 6'5", big frame to hit that lacrosse goal. He's almost taller than the goal. Just looking at him from where we are at the broadcast location, his helmet makes him taller than the goal.
Yeah.
Illinois Tech behind the net. Bounce pass to Porter. No pressure for Benedictine, but remember they're down a man, so they want to protect that net. Brass goes for goal. That shot just wide right. It was just behind the net. And Illinois Tech, you can hear the play being called from the sideline. 600 is the call. Notice that a few times. Here's Tangeman's shot, saved again. And now Benedictine with the man back on the field in Tinkle.
This quarter's had a little bit of everything, Chris.
Yeah, the net coming off, the penalties,
yeah,
a few goals, and we got a whistle.
Tangeman did a foul there from behind, or?
And let's see, Tangeman.
Oh, timeout?
So a timeout.
Yeah, timeout for Benedictine.
So yeah, as we get more physicality, we'll get a timeout. So stoppage in the action. Illinois Tech leads at 5-4.
Benedictine.
And when we return, we will wrap up our first half coverage here from Stewart Field, Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks men's lacrosse on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Second quarter action here at Stewart Field in Chicago. This is the first of 2 games to be played on this Illinois Tech lacrosse doubleheader on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Scarlet Hawks men's lacrosse team leading 5-4 right now against Benedictine, and at approximately 3:30 p.m., the Illinois Tech women's lacrosse team will take on Wisconsin Stevens Point. 3:57 and counting to go in the second quarter. Here with Eric Willowhite, I'm Chris Rouse, and Eric, Benedictine in possession of the ball, down 1.
Yeah, so let's see if the Eagles are able to get a tally coming out of their timeout called by Blake Keenan, setting his team up looking for the equalizer here late in the second quarter.
Keenan in his second season as the coach of Benedictine. 6 wins. Record currently sits at 6-19 all time. Now here's a chance to go for goal, and the ball deflected away.
I think Johnson saw that one coming all the way. It was a long, slow wind up there from Schroeder. You could see he was determined to get that shot off. So Johnson was prepared for it, and it was a bounce shot, and he was able to scoop it up, get the Hawks back on possession.
Johnson walks it all the way to midfield. Oh, he's looking for Klein, and Klein had a run of the net. He left the ball. A chance to score for Illinois Tech goes high and wide, and now Benedictine will gain possession after Brown's shot bounced high.
Yeah. Alton Brown isn't going to get off too many shot attempts, but that time he recovered the ball and figured why not. Tried the bounce shot, bounced over the crossbar. Unfortunately for the Hawks, it turns into a one and done, and the Eagles are back on offense.
Missed opportunity there really was with Klein. I thought Klein had the best seam to the net, but he sort of dropped the ball, which set up Brown. As now here is Skura. Dylan Skura, the first year out of Crown Point, Indiana, number 2. He had passed it off, as now it's Zimmerman. Skura is the outlet, and there he is. Skura shooting for the net. Deflected by Johnson as Klein leveled Skura.
Crown Point must be a hotbed for lacrosse players there, at least for Benedictine. At least 3 on the roster.
Right, I noticed that. They've got about 4 guys from Benedictine. I know the 2 Zimmermans, obviously, are from Crown Point. And then they've got Skura. And I thought I saw maybe one more guy that was something from Crown Point on there.
Schroeder with another shot at the feet. Johnson prepared for that one.
Ball out near midfield. As Illinois Tech making some substitutions. Diego Sosa back in as Brass goes in behind the net. Brass, he's got it wide in behind the cage. Guarded by Colin Doyle, looking at the keeper, Colin Doyle. Great help over the top from Viome. Joseph Metzger-Viome, he's been all over the field for Benedictine. Tangeman to Dwyer. Goal! Ty Dwyer. Sidewinder part 2 for Dwyer.
That was a blitz. Another sidewinder from Dwyer and another feed from Tangeman. The Hawks 2-goal bulge here.
What a play by Dwyer. And that was just a beautifully set up goal. Illinois Tech by 2. And Illinois Tech, not only is their lead a 2-goal advantage, all 3 players that have scored all have 2 goals. Vitali, Dwyer, and Tangeman.
And you had mentioned Dwyer only had 1 goal coming into the match. Now he's got 3.
Adam Mocha came in and got that ground ball pickup for Illinois Tech. He has it out near midfield. He and Brass almost ran into one another. And that's what happens when you don't have enough space. A wide pass. Also a huge gust of wind going through Stewart Field right now.
Yeah, turnover there right around the minute mark.
And 1:02 to go.
1 minute remaining in the half.
As we get the 1-minute call in Stewart Field. Oh, what an interception there on that pass. That was Rankin who just stuck the cross out and took the ball. Rankin down inside. Oh, missed opportunity for the Scarlet Hawks.
Not even a one and done in that one. You missed the connection. The ball goes past the line. No one there for Illinois Tech on the back line with that feed. And it immediately goes back over to the Eagles. But that could have been right on the doorstep there. It could have been a golden opportunity.
Rankin was looking for Hewer. And now there's a steal from Mnookin. Mnookin coming back the other way for the Scarlet Hawks. 30 seconds to go. Scarlet Hawks sideline is saying, go, go, go. Let's get into our attacking third so they can take this time out.
Yep.
With 24 seconds. Coach Sharbaugh, for good reason, wanted to take the time out so he can bring his team to the sideline here for these final 25 seconds. We'll actually keep it here as we get ready to go into the break. But Illinois Tech, 6-4 advantage. 3 players have 2 goals to this point. If you're the Scarlet Hawks, here's an opportunity to draw up something that you would consider of being a quality shot to try to extend that lead out to 3.
Yeah, not a whole lot of time, but it's enough time to work it around and get at least 1 shot of it. You don't want to come out of this without a shot on net.
We've seen Illinois Tech be on the other end of a team coming out with not quite that much time, working against the clock to end a period. This is almost about how much time they had against Calvin when they were on the defensive end, and they ended up losing 10-9. They had to stop Calvin maybe for, I think it was about 24, 25 seconds, something like that. And Calvin was able to get the goal with 3 seconds remaining. So now if you're Illinois Tech, here's an opportunity for you to utilize the entire 24 seconds to your advantage, get a quality look, and try to score on Doyle one last time before going to the break.
Yeah, it's not exactly like basketball where you can take it down all the way down,
right.
Because you got to give what the defense is taking you. But they should work it a little bit.
Yeah.
The question is, do they just work the perimeter or do they work it low to high?
And looking at where they called that timeout, you would think maybe they'll try to work it behind the cage and maybe you slash somebody to the net here. Tangeman's going to start it on the far side away from us.
Yeah, they might go right to Porter on this. We'll see.
Tangeman, as the whistle starts, and he gets Sosa. And they're going to go behind. So they're going to work in behind with Brass. Brass uses Porter for the screen. Not really a lot of motion to the net.
9,
now
8.
Brass going to try to make a shot. Brass through traffic. The shot saved by Doyle. Still knocked loose in traffic. Ball gets airborne. Benedictine comes away with it. And at the half, the Scarlet Hawks take a 6-4 lead into the locker rooms. Second half action coming up here on the other side of our break at Stewart Field between the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks and the Benedictine Eagles. Illinois Tech leads it 6-4. We'll have first half stats, preview our second half, and also preview game 2 of our doubleheader featuring the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks and the Wisconsin Stevens Pointers in women's lacrosse action. This is NCAA Division III Men's Lacrosse on YouTube Live and the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Stewart Field in Chicago, the site of today's NCAA Division III men's lacrosse matchup. NAC Conference opener for both the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks and the Benedictine Eagles. I'll be joined by my partner, Eric Willowhite. I'm Chris Rouse. And right now, Illinois Tech with a 6-4 advantage as we await the beginning of half number 2 between these two conference foes. Here are some of our first half stats. To this point of the matchup, the shots favoring the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks, 26-16 over Benedictine. Scarlet Hawks also leading in the ground ball pickup department, 17-12. Face-off violations actually favored Benedictine as well, 1-4, meaning 4 against the Scarlet Hawks, 1 against Benedictine. And then when you look at the face-offs by period, Benedictine able to go 5 of 6 and also 3 of 6 in that second quarter. Did a much better job early on against Illinois Tech, while the two teams in the clearance departments, 11 of 11 for the Illinois Tech, 10 for 10 for Benedictine. Our scoring to this point in the matchup for Illinois Tech, they've got 3 players with 2 goals, Reed Tangeman, Jonathan Vitale, and Ty Dwyer. And then for Benedictine, they have Ben Zimmerman, he has 2. Meanwhile, Will Robinson and Tyler Sarna both have 1 apiece. This is, of course, the first of 2 matches to be played today here at Stewart Field, a part of our lacrosse doubleheader, our men's and women's lacrosse doubleheader. Following the conclusion of this matchup, we'll have about a 30-minute break, and then we'll come back for women's action between the 2-5 Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks as they take on the 0-4 Pointers of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. But Wisconsin-Stevens Point in their inaugural season of their women's lacrosse program, and in their first season, they'll make the trip to Chicago and round out this Saturday doubleheader for us here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network and on YouTube Live. Good afternoon from Chicago. Hopefully you're having a good time wherever you are. My partner Eric Willowhite will join me in just a moment, and we'll get his thoughts on that first half and preview the second half in just a moment. The wind really coming in here, Eric, for the second half. But we saw the Scarlet Hawks. They've got a 6-4 advantage. And what were your thoughts on that first half?
I thought it was a good effort. That timeout that Coach Sharbaugh called to get the equalizer, I think, really turned things around for the Scarlet Hawks, and they were able to settle their offense down. They were looking, they called that last timeout with about 25 seconds left. They weren't able to get what they wanted out of that one, but they came into halftime with the 2-goal lead after trailing for a little bit here. So I thought they showed good patience after that first timeout, and they've had the better of the play.
Now here's Benedictine. They have the ball, trying to attack the net. The temperature here was 61 degrees at the opening draw controls. Only dropped about 5 degrees, 56 degrees.
I love how you said was.
Right. It was.
We
61.
know which way it goes.
Right. It's going to continue to drop throughout the day for our doubleheader. But 61 when we started is dropped to 56. The wind actually picked up.
Yeah.
The wind was at 2 miles per hour. It's now going 10 crosswind northwest across the field.
Yeah, so Benedictine here looking to get back on track. Scarlet Hawks with 3 unanswered goals to take the lead. They're going to want to stem the tide there.
That was Schroeder on the bad pass for Benedictine. That'll turn it over to the Scarlet Hawks. And here come the Scarlet Hawks. 2-goal advantage here at home. Seamus Keneally. Keneally's been relatively quiet this afternoon. He hits Mnookin. Mnookin had Klein to his left. Instead, he went the other way to Brass.
Yeah, you had mentioned, especially in that Calvin game, how Micah had really, nice save there by Doyle. But Micah had really picked up his game and stepped up, and that's kind of continued into this game here against Benedictine. He's been very noticeable.
Mnookin plays very fearless. That's the way I can describe him. He goes after whatever the Scarlet Hawks need from him. He has no problem going for the ball.
Yeah.
Now Jackson Brass in behind the net. Tangeman goes for goal off the top of the crossbar. Not even so sure that didn't hit Doyle in the face mask.
That's like our second elbow today. That might have hit the other elbow. We've hit one on each side on that side of the fence.
Now back the other way is Ben Zimmerman for Benedictine. Will Robinson Back to Schroeder.
In case you can't tell, it is windy.
Very windy. Had me in a shouting match with the wind on that last possession.
Yeah, you did.
It's not here in Sarna.
Yeah. Give a picture to our viewers, but there is no press box. This is more like it's like a deck.
More like a tent.
Yeah.
Open tent.
It's like a porch. We call it the bird's nest, but we do what we do here.
Now here's Benedictine trying to score a
Oh.
goal. Schroeder's shot deflected away by Johnson.
He didn't even know where it was. He was looking behind him, and then the ball ricocheted, and Manukian was the man on the action there.
Action for the Scarlet Hawks. They get a shot that bounces just a little bit high. Doyle trying to run it down to get to that back line as Brown bounced it wide.
And Brown again with the bounce shot here with that long stick.
Confusion on the Illinois Tech sideline, including from Brown, who took the shot. He's off the field.
Yeah.
And now a pair of the referees will have a conference here on the field.
I think it's about the clock. Oh, they are resetting the shot clock. Okay. So it's a full 80.
So a fresh 80, it will go to Benedictine.
Right.
So I think the official was saying he accidentally said shot when Brown bounced it. It clearly was a bounce home.
Right.
And you saw even Doyle ran to that back line. Doyle clearly won the race. And good job by the officials clearing that up.
Yeah.
And Theodorovic will play it on for the Eagles. Nathan Theodorovic, the junior out of Sacramento, California. Out of the Santa Clara area as well. Listed as going to high school in Santa Clara.
Well, she got better on that pronunciation, too. That's not an easy one.
It's something about the Theodore. It just kind of threw me off at first. Oh, but, Theodorovic.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like you're going two ways with Theodore there.
Right,
so,
right.
It's Benedictine in behind the net. Langley.
Oh.
Langley goes down. Looking for help. It's slowly coming, but he finally gets out of traffic by giving it up to Sarna. Klein applying more pressure. Klein has been effective defensively, and as I say that, Sarna rifles a shot that ricochets to the back fence. Illinois Tech trying to apply pressure for these final 20 seconds. Caleb Austin applying the pressure this time. The shot and a goal! Will Robinson scoring for Benedictine.
That was all set up by that pick that Dylan Skura had set, and Robinson just worked right around it. Bounce shot goes off the helmet of Johnson and then into the net. Benedictine closes within one.
Nice ricochet goal there by Robinson as well. He hit about every part of the back of the net there. Johnson was trying to find the ball, and to no success, as Robinson, the team leader in goals, gets his second of the afternoon. 6-5 Illinois Tech. Still Scarlet Hawks by one.
And now the Hawks get Benedictine gets a face-off violation, so the Hawks get a face-off violation win there. I'm sure Mohamed Jarrad appreciates going against the other team.
We talked about how Illinois Tech had 4 first-half face-off violations in comparison to the 3 for Benedictine, so that'll help the Scarlet Hawks at least shorten the gap on that stat. Now here come the Scarlet Hawks with Dwyer. Chance to go for goal. Tangerman tried to go 5-hole. Doyle was able to get down.
That was a nice shot by Tangerman, but a better save by Doyle. Talked about going low when you have a tall goalkeeper like that, but he was ready for it. Had his cross down and no room to sneak between the wickets there. Nice job by Doyle.
Great hand-eye coordination as well, because he simply dropped the stick and scooped the ball up. Now here's Benedictine.
It's turned into a great match. 1 goal difference right now. Conference opener for both teams.
Zimmerman had a steam run. Tried to gather ahead of the steam as he ran to the net, but unable to do anything. In behind the net again for the Eagles. Hernandez. Over to Robinson. Robinson would love to get his third of the day. They get it passed into the front of the net. And who's got possession? It's Illinois Tech who comes away with it.
Yeah, that was Rankin had it for a moment.
Great job again by Rankin. Henry Rankin had the beautiful interception earlier on one of those passes for Benedictine.
You want to get those long stick midfielders, get rid of that ball as soon as they can.
Dwyer gets it up as quickly as possible to Heward, and he finds the goal. 7-5, Scarlet Hawks.
That was a pretty transition for the Hawks. Getting it up, Dwyer, and getting it inside to Heward, and back to a 2-goal advantage.
Ty Dwyer fired up as he comes off the field, hug for Diego Sosa, and for good reason. That was a great play by Dwyer. He's got a couple of goals already, does Dwyer. Now this time he drops it off to Heward, and Heward scores the goal. Draw control coming, as it'll be Gerard for Illinois Tech, working against Jonathan Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman got his own draw.
And scored it. Whoa, Jonathan Zimmerman. Blink and you would have missed it.
That is incredible.
He won the draw control. He was at the net maybe in about 2 seconds. I literally blinked. I took a step right and the ball was already in the back of the net.
Benedictine goals.
What a play by Zimmerman. Won the draw control and immediately got the ground ball pickup and a straight run to the net for Zimmerman's goal to make it 7-6.
Yeah, you get the face-off win, the ground ball, the shot, and the goal. It just went straight down Broadway, and he was just uncontested. And another draw win here, face-off win.
He wins, but I don't think he'll be successful in getting straight to the net.
Yeah.
Now Manuki, you see, Manuki picked him up immediately. It'd be a foul on the Scarlet Hawks behind the play, likely a slash. They had a few people swiping at the ball there. And now Benedictine sends it over to Langley. Back up top to Schroeder.
Coach Sharbaugh not in agreement with that call. He is barking at the referee right now. Matter of fact, the Benedictine coach is agreeing with him.
Right, they're actually laughing about it, smiling at one another, saying, like, I know, right? And now there's a high shot that goes wide off the fencing.
Oh, wow.
And now we'll finally get the call.
So now the officials are talking it over there. Let's see what they do.
Coach Sharbaugh is still yelling at the officials. I don't know if they can hear him over the wind, but they're still.
Why is the shot clock?
Shot clock is still ticking away, 21-20. Now they're saying let's restart that. And let's see what. Looks like it's going to be Benedictine possession with Robinson behind the cage. And I think they actually picked that. So they're going to wave off that penalty. They picked up the flag. And now, so the one official who picked up the flag, he's waving it off. Now the other two officials are having a conference. And that's where action is scheduled to resume. And now we got an issue with the scorers, as they're just trying to get the attention of the officials. Everyone is just.
Yeah, they got a full 80 on the shot. Oh, no.
They got the 12. Still got 12 on it. Now they put a minute on the shot clock.
Okay.
So, miscommunication there. And they've got the shot clock up and running again. So it will be Benedictine possession with 8:24 to go here in this third quarter. Chris Rouse here with Eric Willowy. It's the first of two to be played at Stewart Field today. Men's and women's lacrosse doubleheader. Women's action will see the Scarlet Hawks take on the Pointers of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. That coming approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. As most of you know that have followed NCAA athletics, and if you don't know, I'll educate you now. Whenever you have a doubleheader, have to have at least 30 minutes between games when they use the same surface. 7-6 score. Here's Sarna. Sarna picked up by Klein. Sarna wanted to shoot it. The pass goes for Schroeder. It goes wide. It's going to roll out near midfield, and it's picked up by Langley.
Shot clock violation.
And the violation will negate the effort from the Eagles. And the Scarlet Hawks, after all of the confusion, make the stand.
So what happened here? Johnson just threw it towards the circle. This is a shot clock violation. Should be Illinois Tech ball.
I think the official, that's what the official is saying.
Yeah.
The ball's going to have to go all the way back.
Yeah, I don't.
You gotta bring it back. Yeah, you're telling the officials telling Reed Tangeman, you gotta bring it back to me. And now here's Tangeman to resume action. Scarlet Hawks with a few players warming up on that sideline. Brown and Jeremy Cruz. Ball goes outside for the Scarlet Hawks. Tangeman. Porter. Back to Jackson Brass. Theodorovic jumped over the back of the net there. There's a chance for the Scarlet Hawks. Brass pass to Tangeman. Shot saved. Down low in front by Colin Doyle.
Wow. That was a beautiful save by Doyle.
Brass to Sosa. He couldn't save that one. Sosa finds the back of the net. And a flag as Sosa scores to make it 8-6 Scarlet Hawks.
Let's take a look at that replay on the goal here. Coming around the back. And just wrapping it in, firing it past.
Sosa, for the moment he scored, it should be 8-6. They have not actually put the point on the board. Now, as I say that, they officially credit Diego Sosa with the goal. 8-6 Scarlet Hawks, 7:03 to go in the third. And another conference between the officials.
They're picking up the flag. Let's see if they're going to award anything. Wait.
So a 1 minute penalty.
What was the penalty?
So it's 8-6 Scarlet Hawks with 7:03 to go here in the third. And I believe the penalty was illegal check against Benedictine Jack Dardis. So Dardis picks up he's going to pick up the penalty for the illegal check. The goal does count. It is a scored goal.
Yeah.
That was very delayed when I was thinking maybe they took it off. And Illinois Tech, the sideline, the way they reacted, I thought it was coming off the board.
Oh, Zimmerman with another nice win and going right down Broadway again. Loses it, though.
Bowls over a couple of Scarlet Hawks players.
Yeah.
But the Scarlet Hawks come away with the ball. Seamus Keneally with space. Finds Jackson Brass. Scarlet Hawks going to try to get a substitution here. That's going to be Sosa to come back on. Actually, they're going to go with Tangeman to join the attack. And along with Dwyer, yep. And that pass left a man wide open in traffic to take contact. Benedictine comes away with the ball. Hewart took the hit. Far side possession for the Eagles. With 6.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Zimmerman to Schroeder. Schroeder wheels out. Not a lot of motion for Benedictine, but they're also trying to get their right personnel out there with Langley. Langley's going to come in, as is Tyler Sarna. And right to Sarna from Langley.
A couple tall midfielders there for Benedictine. You got Diallo coming in at 6'3", Schroeder 6'2".
But it's Sarna trying to use his speed to get around the Illinois Tech perimeter defenders. Here's a chance to go for goal if you're Benedictine. The save as Robinson took a hit from behind. A save by Johnson. Schroeder to Sarna. In behind the net. Zimmerman. Shot clock is at 40. Plenty of time for Benedictine. Zimmerman. Pass to Schroeder. Good shot and a goal.
Wow.
That was a great play.
What a pass. What a goal by Schroeder.
Beautiful play by Ben Zimmerman. That was a beautiful touch pass. He just dropped it over the top to Schroeder, who just flicked it home for the goal. 8-7 Scarlet Hawks still remain up by 1. But Robert Schroeder, the junior out of Lakeland, Florida, assisted by the senior out of Crown Point, Indiana, Ben Zimmerman, they combined for Benedictine's 7th goal of the afternoon.
A back and forth affair here, Chris. Just down to another 1-goal deficit.
The ball was knocked loose. Illinois Tech didn't see it. Benedictine regains possession. Luke Grant, sophomore out of Peoria, Illinois. Passing it off behind the cage is Grant. Hernandez lobs it out of traffic. Pass to Zimmerman. Ball deflected away. Illinois Tech going to try to run it down. Klein having an issue picking it up. For everything Klein has done well today, that's the first time I've seen him have any problems. Couldn't secure possession.
Yeah, just wasn't able to secure it there. Good effort, though, but Benedictine will get the ball back. Now another conference.
James Klein goes 6'2", first-year player out of San Diego, California. He's been all over the field defensively. He wins possession for the Scarlet Hawks, does Klein, as whatever the officials discussed, they said we will favor 28 and white, and they give it to the Scarlet Hawks. Alexander Stocker. Stocker looking for Porter. He's got him, Yano Porter. Benedictine trying to fire up their defense. Dwyer takes a step to the net. Instead, he'll pass in behind the Porter. Excuse me, that's Stocker. Stocker back up to Dwyer. Dwyer sidewinder deflected away by Brunken right off his back.
Oh, he's feeling that one.
Dwyer swiping at the ball, but it's recovered anyway by Robinson for Benedictine. Dardis was dispossessed, but then he caused two Scarlet Hawks players to run into one another. Tinkle over to Zimmerman. And now Benedictine with possession, down one. Sort of frantic on their sideline, trying to make sure they get the right instructions here. In behind the net. Robinson flings it out of traffic to Langley. Sarna pressured by Mnookin. They got help on that back line. They go for the shot instead with Sarna. It's picked up by Hernandez. Ball knocked loose. And time being taken here by Benedictine. 27 on the shot clock. A bit of a slash that sets up a shot. Johnson knocks the shot away. It's picked up by Zimmerman. That shot goes wide right. The ball will maintain. It will stay with Benedictine as they had the player to the back line with Hernandez. Zimmerman over to Schroeder. Schroeder, a few head and shoulder fakes. Lobs it out of traffic. Over to Sarna. Sarna goes for goal and he finds it. Tyler Sarna. Tyler Sarna has tied the game at 8. And Benedictine with a very calm offensive possession there. They really were frantic trying to get the instructions right once they gained possession, and they are attacking third of the field. But once the Eagles gained possession and they settled down, Eric, it was clear they wanted to settle down and get a quality shot on net, and that's what they did. Yeah, they definitely did. They worked that ball around nicely, and then Sarna, just with a great individual effort there, firing it past Johnson. We're all even at 8s. 2:28 to go in the third quarter. Draw control coming. Somebody's 4-match losing streak is going to come to an end here at Stewart Field today. Benedictine looking to take the lead, but unfortunately for the Eagles, the ball was bobbled, couldn't get a quality shot.
They're able to maintain possession, however, so they'll try and work it around again. Let's see if they work that perimeter once more.
They're actually going right to the front door. That's been more their strategy here in this second half. They saw the success the Scarlet Hawks had in terms of creating space from the Eagles themselves. Now Benedictine trying to take the lead. The shot just behind Johnson like he hit the post.
Oh, can't have these turnovers. Johnson just unable to connect there.
He's looking for Jaeger Brault and a chance for Benedictine to go for goal, but they were unable to get a quality shot. Hernandez should have had a shot for goal, but he was never able to shoot.
Now Brault with the flip.
And the Scarlet Hawks into the offensive third of the field. It's Reed Tangerman. Tangerman shadowed by Schroeder. Substitutions coming on, and Sosa and Dwyer. They got Porter in behind the net for the Scarlet Hawks. They've got 1 minute to try to score here in the third. Tangerman back to Sosa. Looking for Brass. Brass had to extend the arm to save that one. Brass tries to bounce one home. Saved by Colin Doyle. Tangerman scoops it up in traffic. Underhand pass to Sosa, who shoots a shot right into the cross of Doyle.
Yeah, that's right up chest high, right where Doyle was ready for that one.
Schroeder with 32 seconds and counting for Benedictine. Gets across midfield. Now he's going to try to get into the offensive third. Benedictine is already cleared. And now a chance to set up an offensive play. Tyler Sarna with the most recent goal for Benedictine. Now he loses it. Illinois Tech comes away with it. Long throw up the field. Likely going to be the final action of this third quarter. Benedictine to gain possession. So we'll likely see this ball come in, and we'll head to the fourth. Action resumes, and after 3, we're tied at 8. We'll head to the fourth quarter, where somebody's 4-game win streak will come to an end. Will it be the Benedictine Eagles? Will it be the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks? Which bird will fly high after this fourth quarter? We'll find out when we come back here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Fourth quarter action here at Stewart Field in Chicago. With my partner Eric Willowhite, I'm Chris Rouse. We are tied at 8 between the Benedictine Eagles and the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. Eric, what better way to start off conference action in men's lacrosse?
No, this has been a great game back and forth, and Benedictine not refusing to go away here. So we're all tied up at 8 heading into the final quarter. I'll give you some third quarter stats here. Benedictine outshot the Hawks 14-10. 13-5 in ground balls in favor of the Eagles. They had 1 faceoff violation, did the Eagles. Illinois Tech did not have any. Benedictine was 6 for 7 on the draw in that third quarter. Illinois Tech only 1 for 7. Clears, each team was 4 for 4. And the Hawks were 0 for 1 in the man-up opportunity. 6 saves apiece for Johnson and Boyle. 6 turnovers by the Eagles, 2 for the Scarlet Hawks. And those are your third quarter stats.
And now Schroeder has the ball for Benedictine as they attempt to take the lead here in the fourth quarter. They go to Will Robinson. Hernandez had it there briefly behind the net. And now back up top over to Langley. Number of touches today for Langley. Pressured by Manukin. Langley passes off to Robinson. Benedictine back to some of that first half passing around the perimeter we saw. Oh, that's just a tough break for the Eagles. Hernandez had a lane. Instead, the ball goes out to the Scarlet Hawks. Just a little too high on the pass. And now Illinois Tech tied at 8. They have it out near midfield. Here's Klein. Nice move by Klein.
The Hawks want to get Jackson brass on track here. It's been relatively quiet. He's had some shots, just it's not the normal 12 in white that you're used to seeing. Probably still getting rounded back into shape.
Scarlet Hawks still just trying to find an avenue to the net with Porter. Porter working against Brunken. Remember, Brunken took a pass right off the back of the net. Actually, a shot off the back of the net earlier.
That was, yeah, he felt that one.
Yeah, he took it off the back in self-defense there. He's just trying to keep it from getting to the net. There's a shot that does get to the net. It's saved, however, by Colin Doyle.
Doyle's made some nice saves here to keep Benedictine in the game, allow them to get square with the Hawks. So Doyle doing a good job of settling things down on the back end for Benedictine.
Now Schroeder, he has possession. Schroeder in behind, gives it up to Hernandez. Hernandez was intended to be the recipient of that pass on Benedictine's last possession, but they turned it over. Sarna goes for goal. Instead, he finds the cross of the opposing keeper, Kyle Johnson.
See a quick, now that one, Jager Brault should have had that one. That was a nice save by Johnson. Pass to Brault. Wasn't able to scoop that one up, and now Benedictine back in action.
Sarna with Brault applying the pressure. Help coming defensively for Illinois Tech. Benedictine able to get out of traffic. Hernandez again. In behind the cage. Dumps it off last minute as he takes a bit of a shoulder from Brault. Ben Zimmerman. Forced backwards by Seamus Keneally with Zimmerman. A chance to go for goal for Benedictine. That bounces wide. And it will stay with the Eagles. Hernandez at the back line. 53 on the shot clock. Plenty of time to get a quality look for the Eagles. And honestly, at this point of the match, Eric, I wouldn't be surprised if we see both of these teams use the shot clock the majority of the way the rest of the game.
Yeah, that might be the case. That's a good point, Chris.
With the way points have been at a premium, shots have been at a premium. There's a shot wide right. It'll go out of bounds, but it'll be Benedictine possession. Remember, they got the man on the back line with Skura. Dylan Skura. Skura up top to Schroeder. Illinois Tech applying the pressure defensively with Brown. And now here's a chance for Hernandez. That shot almost beat Johnson on the low right side of the net.
He was able to make that save, though, and quickly in transition here, Ty Dwyer getting things set up for the Hawks.
Dwyer to Brass. Brass in behind the cage. That's Porter. Porter tries to fling one home. Instead, he shoots it short off the leg of the keeper. That's Doyle. And now Benedictine out of traffic.
Yeah, Doyle.
And a flag as Musa Diallo goes down. He and Reed Tangerman hooked up on that far side. 10:31 to go.
So they'll set up a man-up opportunity here for Benedictine. We'll hear what the official call is here.
Yeah, they'll come over here and make the announcement shortly. 10:31 to go in the match. As now here comes our official. As you can see him right on the screen. So 2-minute penalty.
2 minutes, so it's a major. Make sure they get that right.
Yeah, 2-minute penalty on Reed Tangerman. They said that was a cross-check contact to the head.
Illinois Tech penalty on number 7, Reed Tangerman.
So non-releasable penalty for Tangerman. So it's a non-releasable penalty for Tangerman for the 2-minute cross-check contact to the head. And now Benedictine a 2-minute man advantage.
Yeah, they can score multiple times here in this 2-man advantage. Started at 10:31 all the way down to 8:31.
Remember, non-releasable, so
right.
goal or not, Tangerman's going to sit it out. Langley had it briefly, and if you're Illinois Tech, this is probably the best thing you could do. Down a man, they go for goal, and the shot goes wide. Benedictine will be rewarded possession. No one on that back line for the Scarlet Hawks. Remember they're down a man, so they were just trying to get a shot off.
Yeah, I
reset.
think that was Mulk on the shot. That's hard when you got a long stick midfielder out there trying to get the shot off. It's not easy to do. Hawks have had a few of those. Alton Brown has fired a 2. That time Mulca did, just wasn't able to connect. We get a timeout, Benedictine?
And Benedictine will take a timeout. We're tied at 8. 9:52 to go in the match. We'll take a break. We'll return to the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network after this with Illinois Tech men's lacrosse. Back here at Stewart Field in Chicago, NCAA Division III men's lacrosse action in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, the NAC, kicking off conference play with the Benedictine Eagles and the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks, both teams having lost 4 consecutive matches. But in about 9:52, someone looks like they'll get back into the win column. Benedictine 1-7, Illinois Tech 2-5. Meanwhile, coming up next, in women's action, the 2-5 Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks women's team will take on the 0-4 Wisconsin Stevens Point Pointers. First season of women's lacrosse for Wisconsin Stevens Point. And they're making their trip to Chicago after we finish the conclusion of this one here.
Remember, Tangeman is out until 8:31, non-releasable.
Non-releasable. Scarlet Hawks going to be down a huge hand. And not only is he a huge hand, he's also just going to be down a man in general.
All right.
Here's Zimmerman. Back up to Zimmerman. Over to Langley. A shot and a goal! And the Eagles find the back of the net. Schroeder's been hungry all day. They finally feed him for a goal.
Yeah, nice assist there coming from Dylan Langley as well. Langley feeding Schroeder, and he gets it up in that upper right corner for the goal. The go-ahead goal here at 9:20.
9-8 Benedictine, and Schroeder with a huge goal. And remember, Tangeman still will sit it out here at least another 51 seconds. About just under 50 seconds here. He'll sit it out. It'll be 8:31 when he returns back to game.
Yeah, so still plenty of time for Benedictine to tack on, but get the go-ahead goal here. And you know, Seven and White is just waiting for that clock to wind down so he can get back on the field, get the Hawks back on offense. But they have to defend right now, and they have the draw, the control, and the face-off.
And Schroeder, who just scored the goal, comes up with the ball. That goal for Schroeder is 7th of the season.
That was just so well placed.
And we talked about how it's been that goal, too. We talked about the ball hitting the corner.
Right.
He earmarked that one perfectly, lowered it just enough to score. There's a shot sidewinder right into Johnson.
That's a big, important save for the Hawks here as that time is winding down on the 2-minute major. Now they're having problems. Again, it's too many times that's happened where they get the save and then the clear attempt goes awry, so immediately you're putting Benedictine back on offense. Still time on that clock.
They were looking for Klein on that pass, and instead they turned it over to Benedictine, to the Scarlet Hawks. Here's Zimmerman. Over to Sarna. Zimmerman. Pass, a shot and a goal. That was a beautiful shot from Dylan Langley. We saw the sidewinder, and based off where we are, you can see that was all net. That was going to be a goal nonetheless. Perfect release from Dylan Langley. As soon as he shot it, the perfect flick of the wrist, no doubt about it, goal for Benedictine. And it's now 10-8 Benedictine, and they took advantage of the 2-minute non-releasable penalty. They got 2 goals.
Well, they got 1 goal technically. 8:31 was the release, but and for all intents and purposes, you're right, Chris, it might as well have been another man-up goal because there was no time for anyone to get back into play. Now we got a flag.
So now the Scarlet Hawks will be the beneficiaries of the flag this time, as we've got a player tripped up. They take down Brown, do the Eagles. And we're going to try to get the official word. So that'll be a trip against Benedictine. And I think it's going to be Dardis.
37.
Yeah, that's going to be Dardis again. So he had the one earlier, and he'll sit out again.
1 minute for.
So 1 minute for tripping for Dardis. Will give Illinois Tech a man advantage, at least for 1 minute, but to give them an opportunity to at least cut into that 2-goal deficit created by their own penalties, which gave Benedictine a two-man advantage. Here's a shot for Porter. He bounced it home, and Illinois Tech does take advantage to make it 10-9. Yano Porter.
That's a man-up goal right away, so you're getting a good answer. Now you're down to 1-goal deficit.
Yano Porter, right when the Scarlet Hawks needed it, found the back of the net. And for Porter, first goal of the day. First goal of the day for Porter, his 4th of the season. And now Illinois Tech down 1 with 7:56 to go. Gerard on the draw control for the Scarlet Hawks. Looks like he'll be going up against Jonathan Zimmerman.
That was a man-up goal.
Man-up goal for Illinois Tech, thanks to the penalty on Dardis.
Yeah, now it was releasable, so Dardis is out of the penalty area, but Hawks nonetheless able to get one of the 2 goals back. Now they trail by 1. Still plenty of time for both teams here. This is coming down to the wire, Chris.
Here's Dwyer. It's 10-9, our score. It was 10-9 the last time the Scarlet Hawks were at home in a 1-goal loss at the hands of the Calvin Knights. Here's Braz. The shot off the crossbar, and a chance for Tangerman to run it down. And it is run down by Tangerman. Scarlet Hawk possession. Tangerman fakes to Dwyer. Cuts back door. He sort of lost it trying to feed Porter. His pass goes high for Dwyer. Let's see who picks up the possession at midfield. It's one.
They're going to say.
Yep, he went over.
Tapped with the foot. Keneally can't do that.
Yeah, Keneally came over. The ball was not cleared.
Oh, but that shot by Brass off the post there. That
break.
Close from tying it up.
Tough break for the Scarlet Hawks, but still plenty of time. 7 minutes and counting. But those are the type of plays where in a 10-9 game, if your team can't overcome that 1-goal deficit, you do look back and say, if Brass would have just had that one an inch lower.
All right. Well, I think each team has hit the elbow.
Yeah.
And then the Hawks hitting the pipe there as well.
Now Ben Zimmerman back up top to Sarna. A chance to make a run of the net for Schroeder. That's good spacing, but he bounced it wide left. That's probably the best spacing Schroeder's had all day, including on the shot he scored on. Hernandez in behind the net. Over to Schroeder. Schroeder pressured by Klein. Klein has had an impressive defensive performance for the Scarlet Hawks. Will Robinson. Robinson gives it up to Zimmerman. Ben Zimmerman trying to shake Keneally. Great defense by Seamus Keneally. Just too big for Zimmerman to make a play. A shot, backdoor shot attempt. That bounced wide for Will Robinson as he took contact from Austin.
Only 6 seconds on the shot clock there for Benedictine.
See Illinois Tech saying to stay down. They want to try to get that ball down, and that's what they're going to do. Oh, Johnson made the save. It bounced in front of him, and it didn't go in. You're right, he didn't know where it was, but it wasn't behind him for the goal.
And now what are they calling here?
We got another ball on the field.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
everything happening right here. This is crazy.
It will favor the Scarlet Hawks, so shot clock violation, I think, is the call. Okay.
That
would be the right call.
Yeah. But then it should be a full 80.
And they're right on cue. They give you the full 80. So it is a full shot. So I think the officials weren't sure if the ball went in.
Yeah.
Maybe on one of the hops they thought.
I don't think Johnson even knew it, but he did get a piece of it. So mark that down here at 5:41. That was a key stop by Johnson as the shot clock wound down.
So it is officially a shot clock violation. Illinois Tech gains possession with 5:32 and counting now. It's Mnookin. Up top to Brass. Brass looking.
He's waiting for Tangeman to make his way along with Diego Sosa. He rolls it right over to Tangeman.
And now here comes Tangeman. Charging towards Dwyer. He'll likely drop it off.
They just trade places there.
Yeah.
Plenty of time, though. 40 on the shot.
Tangeman working. Finally passes one off here to Brass. Brass with a few head and shoulder fakes. Finds Dwyer. Dwyer going for goal. That shot back to the fencing, south fencing. They have Porter on the back line.
See, the Hawks want to get their shots off quickly, right? You know, there's not a lot of patience, as much patience as they did kind of late in that second quarter. They're looking to get quick shots.
Intercepted there by Benedictine. And coming out of traffic is Viome, Joseph Metzger-Viome. He was quiet in that third quarter. Had a huge first half for Benedictine. Here's Robinson.
That was a big steal, though, for Viome. Every play is big at this point with a one-goal game under 5 minutes to play.
Zimmerman over to Langley. Schroeder. The ball goes in behind for Benedictine. Zimmerman to Skura. Skura takes a bit of a shoulder from Sosa. But plenty of time on the shot clock. He gives one back to Skura, and then his shot gets knocked down. And it will be Benedictine ball. They have the man on the back line in Hernandez.
Yeah, watch Robinson. Oh, nice stop there by Rankin. They were intending to get that over to Robinson. I was just saying he was like sitting in a soft spot there, stolen away by Rankin.
And now the Scarlet Hawks.
That was a big clear.
Here's a chance for Dwyer to go! Ty Dwyer ties it up at 10.
What a feed by Brown finding Dwyer, but Alton Brown with a nice assist, and Dwyer just darting down and firing that past Doyle. We're squared at 10.
3:28 remaining here at Stewart Field in Chicago. And like my partner Eric Willowhite just said, we are all tied at 10. Ty Dwyer with the back of the net, his third of the day. Alton Brown credited with the assist for Illinois Tech. And we are now tied at 10. A flag out near midfield. That's going to go against the Scarlet Hawks.
The Hawks did not need that. Neither team needs a flag at this point, but a flag was assessed on the Hawks. We'll see what happens here.
Langley from Zimmerman. And now here comes Sarna. Sarna eludes one defender. Looking for Zimmerman. Scooped up by Langley. And now Schroeder again looking up top for Sarna. Sarna, I don't know if maybe he's too excited to shoot it, but that's twice he's left it.
Oh, Robinson determined to get in there.
Leaves the ball after he's dispossessed, and now a foul. We got a few swipes as the official comes charging in.
Yeah, referee. Oh, now another flag drop. It looks like that's going to be assessed on? It could be on White again.
He ran in at Luis Hernandez. James Klein was in the mix. We mentioned how there were a few players swiping sticks while the ball was down.
We'll see. We'll wait for the call here. I'll find out what we're getting.
Hernandez was certainly involved in the mix, number 25 in red, because he was the player that was sort of hidden behind Klein and Keneally when the official ran in to stop all of the extracurricular activities between the players. And then it looks like it's going to be Luis Hernandez who's going to be assessed the penalty for Benedictine as we still try to get a word from the officials. Remember, we still got another matchup to come here at Stewart Field, women's lacrosse action. The teams are actually on the field behind me here at Stewart Field warming up. And now we get the call. So there's a dead ball foul. So they're saying they're going to reset the shot clock at 80. But I don't think we got an official word on the – I don't think anyone has got an official word on the penalty. I know we got Luis Hernandez of Benedictine off the field on a knee as if he's going to be the man down. And honestly, I saw some of the Benedictine coaches. They didn't seem too happy with Hernandez. After he picked up that penalty, he came straight to where we are at our broadcast location. The sideline is underneath us, but we can still have a bit of an overhead look at the sideline. And the coaches were telling Hernandez that they didn't really feel there was a need to get involved in the mix-up after the play. So a 1-minute penalty. So Hernandez. So Luis Hernandez gets a 2-minute. So Hernandez got a 2-minute unsportsmanlike penalty, is what the official has reported to the stats keepers. And now we're going to get a timeout, White, to settle this out. So timeout, Scarlet Hawks. We'll actually take a timeout. We'll try to settle this out as the officials haven't really been able to get the word up to the not only just us, but the stats keepers as well. So we'll take a timeout. 2:46 to go here in the game, and we will conclude men's lacrosse action between the Scarlet Hawks and Eagles. Back here at Stewart Field in Chicago. We're tied at 10 with 2:46 remaining in the match. Chris Rouse here with Eric Willowite. Eric, we've been trying to get this figured out. Now it appears we finally have official word on the penalties.
Yeah, they're issuing 1-minute penalties to both players, Alton Brown and Luis Hernandez. So initially it sounded like the unsportsmanlike on Hernandez was going to cost 2 minutes. Brown had the initial penalty, the flag, but then after the whistle was blown, that's when Hernandez had the unsportsmanlike conduct. They both get a minute.
And we mentioned while the play was live, it really was just the extra swiping at the ball after the whistle, which hurt Hernandez. And then, of course, we had extracurriculars where we had both players already sort of not only jawing at each other, but also the extra physicality with the sticks being swung. You don't want that to escalate any further. And the official ran right in to separate the players. And now, after a lengthy delay to get the logistics all sorted out, we'll finally get back to some lacrosse here with Reed Tangeman.
Yeah, with 2:45 to go here, Chris, coming down to the wire. You kind of half-joked about overtime here earlier, especially since both teams on 4-game losing streaks. We might actually be entertaining that.
Here's Tangeman. Tangeman back to Jackson Brass. Brass, pass up top, goes to Sosa. Sosa, passing behind the cage to Porter. Tangeman wants to try to wheel out, but couldn't quite turn to get the shot off.
And Benedictine doing a good job forcing the Hawks on the perimeter here.
Sosa's shot deflected away. It looked like it was hit by Benedictine, and it was. It'll be Illinois Tech possession. Here's Brass. Scarlet Hawks in behind the cage. Brass with a screen from Porter. Tries to turn and shoot.
Got a whistle
and now a whistle.
Flag.
Yeah, Porter was leveled as he set that screen. I missed if that was Tankle or Theodorovic who hit him.
That's 4 coming over.
That'd be Tankle. So that was Tankle who ran through him. And out of favor of the Scarlet Hawks on the whistle. So Illinois Tech, Owen Hewitt will come on as well for the Scarlet Hawks. And with 1:58, Illinois Tech adding an offensive weapon. The foul actually is on 58, so it's on Theodorovic. So he'll come off the field as opposed to Tankle. So Nathan Theodorovic picks up the penalty and not Ben Tankle. And now here comes Illinois Tech back in possession. Brass to Sosa. Sosa sidewinder. Goal! Diego Sosa gives Illinois Tech a 1-goal lead with 1:50 to go in the game. Diego Sosa finding the back of the net. Illinois Tech by 1 on a sunny Saturday in Chicago. Unassisted goal, 1:50 to go. 11-10, Scarlet Hawks.
I tell you, Chris, the last 2 men's lacrosse games you called here have been one for the books, right? That Calvin game with them scoring with 3 seconds left. The Hawks scoring with 1:50.
Goal number 11. How appropriate for Diego Sosa
Yeah.
to make it 11-10 Scarlet Hawks.
This is still a lot of time the way this game's going.
Can the Scarlet Hawks hold off Benedictine for the final 100 seconds, which begin right now? Mnookin.
Who can get the ball is what the question is.
It goes in behind the Benedictine defensive goal. We
No
got
one
bodies,
has it.
right? We got bodies falling all over Stewart Field, and after all was said and done, Dwyer comes up with it off of the pass from Porter.
I think Vitale might have picked it out of there, at least helped.
Yeah, it was Porter who scooped it up, and then he got rid of it to Dwyer. Vitale, I think, knocked it over.
Yeah. There's plenty of white and red jerseys down. Talk about a contested ground ball.
Oh, Mnookin took a
we
hit.
got
That,
a flag there on Schroeder.
Schroeder got hit with the stick. Mnookin got hit with the stick as Schroeder ran past him. Now Dwyer, all alone, passes it off. Porter to Sosa for breathing room. Instead, the shot goes off the cage. And we got another mix-up in the middle of the field.
1 minute remaining in the quarter. 1 minute.
And with 1 minute to go, that penalty will go against Schroeder. Remember, he made contact with Mnookin with the stick. And now the Scarlet Hawks with 59.5 seconds. It's literally 59.5. Exactly 59.5 on the scoreboard. The Illinois Tech coaching staff having some words with Diego Sosa. They need him to talk. They need him to communicate is what I'm picking up from the sideline, because Sosa, with that goal, he may have won the game for the Scarlet Hawks, but he has been key to how Illinois Tech attacks the front of the net for Benedictine. And timeout Eagles with 15. Well, clock hasn't moved at all. 59.5 seconds. Timeout Benedictine. And now the officials, let's see if it's actually Benedictine. I saw one official wave red. And also one of the officials having the words with Blake Keenan, the coach of Benedictine. It's actually been credited as an Illinois Tech timeout. But, Eric, I saw the Scarlet Hawks coaching staff. They were saying, Diego Sosa, we need you to communicate. You're going to be key in our offense the rest of the way.
Yeah, this game is just nuts. And still just under a minute to go. Benedictine sitting with a player down right now after that penalty to Schroeder. There might have been a little bit of an acting there done by Mnookin, but you're doing what you're supposed to do. It's I saw the after effect of the contact, so I can't say I saw the contact specifically. I saw the after effect in Mnookin.
It was one of those things where he was coming up to set a screen, and when he set it, I think Schroeder had the stick extended,
Yeah,
and that's
maybe
kind of
that's
what
it.
caught him.
Yeah.
And that's what caught Mnookin, and that allowed the official. And he immediately looked at the official. He said, "Hey, did you?"
Right.
did
So
you
kind
miss it?"
of coaxing him into it, and the head coach there.
Yeah, Coach Keenan. I think that's why he was on the field.
Yeah.
He said, "Did you let him coerce you into calling it?"
Well, you talk about the ways that Micah has influenced games, and that's just another aspect of his game there, and being able to draw a penalty there at the key time after you took a 1-goal lead. So good work by 13 and White.
Action will resume with Jackson Brass. And here we go, 58 seconds and counting. Brass in behind the cage. Brass just working, just want to run some clock here. 51 on the shot clock. You can hear the coaching staff of the Scarlet Hawks take a lap, run that clock down.
Yeah. This is where your sprints come in handy in practice.
You can hear them higher, take a lap, higher. They just want as much field spacing as possible so that if you do have to give it back to Benedictine, they got a long run to that other net. Brass trying to get out of traffic, still in possession. Klein comes in for Tangeman. That's more defensive help for Illinois Tech. Brass literally just running the clock down. Benedictine trying to dispossess him. Brass now goes down, and now they'll get the ball. It's Theodorovic who comes up with it. And now here come the Benedictine Eagles. Long pass intercepted by the Scarlet Hawks, and that's taken away by Henry Rankin. Illinois Tech out near midfield with 3. The count continues with 2, and the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks snap a 4-match losing streak with an 11-10 win over the Benedictine Eagles. Your hero, Diego Sosa, his 11th goal of the season, the 11th goal of the afternoon for the Scarlet Hawks, and it allows Illinois Tech to go to 3-5 on the 2024 men's lacrosse campaign. Benedictine will fall to 1-8, but it's the 11th goal of the season, Eric Willow-White, for Diego Sosa that allows the Scarlet Hawks to end a 4-match losing streak and get their 3rd win of the season.
Yeah, that was a big goal by Sosa and putting the Hawks in front, and then Micah Mnookin drawing that penalty to give him the man-up opportunity. The Hawks are just able to wind down the clock, even though they turned it over with 13.6 seconds left. The Hawks were able to hold on for a key conference victory, and the Hawks are the one that snapped their 4-game losing streak.
A hard-fought match here at Stewart Field. Well, lacrosse fans, we're just getting started for you. We still got women's lacrosse action coming up. The Wisconsin-Stevens Point Pointers in their inaugural women's lacrosse season make the trip to Chicago looking for their first win in program history. They're 0-4. They take on the 2-5 Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. We have all the action for you right here at Stewart Field on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network and on YouTube Live. But for our presentation of Illinois Tech men's lacrosse action, he's Eric Willow-White. I'm Chris Rouse. The Scarlet Hawks win it 11-10. Game 2 coming up in approximately 30 minutes. Until next time.